point, and we're looking at what that path will be. One of the things that I believe is most important about professional development is that it be teacher-driven. That's what data shows. So Alameda County Office of Education is also very strong in teacher action research and engaging teachers around teacher action research, and that's something I'd like to see our teachers have a greater opportunity to do in our own schools and in district schools as well. So one of the things that we have found is that our professional development is hands-on, relevant, and engaging around Common Core, so much so that we are having teachers in districts call us at a rate that's been difficult for us to keep up with. So we're really working on expanding those services to districts and making sure that we involve teachers in that feedback loop so that our professional development stays relevant and engaging. And now we've had other county offices also come and ask us to train their teachers, staff, and board as well. So, thank you.
Well, the first thing I would do was I would go and visit. I'd make sure I would go and put my feet on the ground and see what's going on in the classrooms and talk to the teachers and find out from them what their needs are. Specifically at SPAs, since we have teachers that are dealing day to day with the challenges of having a transient population of kids, they're going to have completely different challenges. And I need to go and listen, first thing. Second thing is, there are amazing teachers in the Alameda County. I would find the teacher experts among us and involve them and ask them to provide workshops, giving them stipends to come out and actually do hands-on workshops for the teachers so they can see and get to know and work with teachers to understand, because Common Core is different. Common Core is actually getting down and really getting to the nitty-gritty and being able to explain things. And so we want our students to be able to do that. It's a different kind of teaching that goes along with that. But I think that most teachers, especially myself, I like to see it in action so that I can actually know that I'm doing what I'm doing right. So I want to involve professionals that we already have and make sure that I know what the needs are. And the best way to do that is to go visit, make sure I get to the court schools, make sure that I am involving the teachers that have the work to do in front of them.
You know, as I said already before, the Common Core is the biggest challenge and something that is so exciting that's before us. But unfortunately, we're not given a lot of dollars for that. And it's sad to say that, you know, the governor's budget for the cycle has not included additional funding for Common Core professional development. And as a teacher, I was back in the 8803 technology grants, and it was, you know, here's your technology, good luck. You know, I happen to thrive in that environment, and that's where I, you know, learned about technology and became interested in it and turned into be my profession. But that's not the way that we should go about this. This isn't a, here's your stuff, good luck. What's important, though, is that we go through professional development that's consistent, that has a bunch of different modalities, that you have the ability to participate in it face-to-face, that you have follow-up with it, there's reinforcement. It's so important that we have so many touches with this. Because Common Core is so important and our funding is rather limited, it's also important that we do this together. Now, as far as the SPAS group, I was a continuation high school teacher. I worked with at-risk youth. I'm very familiar with it. I think it's very important that we create wraparound services to engage county health, as well as making sure that we have support for those kids, not only in our juvenile justice programs, but also in our other districts. I see a lot of them go through the expulsion process, and it's really sad. It's really sad to see the trend that they have. So making sure that teachers have that proper staff development and training in SPAs and throughout the county is absolutely key, and it's important we engage that in a variety of different ways. But the key thing with that is a partnership. We have to do it together.
we really haven't had a chance to tell you about ourselves. So I'm going to start off very quickly by telling you for the last 2 decades, I have either consulted, taught, administered in 7 districts in Alameda County. Very familiar with the number of districts in this county. And what I have heard in the last several years from people that I know in each of these districts is they feel like there hasn't been any outreach from ACOE. They feel as though, when was the last time someone from ACOE came and visited with the district office and then went to school sites to know that the presence is here and that there's a reception to what's going on. So I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, I didn't write these questions, but the way I read this question is, where is the outreach? Where is the interest in what we are doing in spas, in every other area of Alameda County? So I think that outreach in capital letters is very important, that starts at the top, and that every department is, as far as I'm concerned, obligated to make sure that there's a level of outreach so that everyone knows that they're being heard, their voice is heard, their concern is heard, and their needs are heard. So with that said, I feel as though every really good professional development that I've had in the last, say, 4 or 5 years, I'm sorry to bring up Santa Clara County office again, but that's where I've had to go. And it's been exceptional. There have been nationally recognized people that have been there, and I have to liken it to a blood transfusion. If you're a teacher in the classroom and you go to a great professional development, it keeps you alive. You can't wait to get back to your classroom to use what you've learned. So that's my feeling about professional development and making sure that we know what's needed out there and provide it.
Next question. If elected, how would you train or instruct your directors and managers so that they foster a positive work environment in order to increase morale and build a community of trust at ACOE?
Thank you. Well, the last, I'd say 6 years, I've worked in Hayward and Oakland Unified School District, and I got the same position each time as a compliance coordinator, which I don't know how it happened that I got that job, but I would start from the bottom. The first thing with compliance was making sure there's no hostile work environment, making sure there's no sexual harassment, making sure that we treat each other with respect. That would be the first thing that I would start with my managers. The second thing would be to do an audit, to make sure that my managers have the credentials to manage in the position that they're in. The next thing would be to ensure that when you go back to community building and you go back to what we said a couple of questions ago around the percentage of administrators to staff, I would have to look at that again as far as morale. I was told once by a person who works here that they've been working here and they've been working and doing the same job for 11 years, and then a manager was brought in who did not have a credential in that position, and they were telling them what to do. And it lowered morale because they thought, wait a minute, I have been working, I know this job, how is somebody coming in and taking over and telling me what to do? So I would definitely want to make sure I end cronyism. That is not okay. That is not the way that a district office at this level should operate.
Thank you. We're a family, right? You spend so many hours of your day here together with each other or off sites. And it's so important to love your job. Now, I'm not going to ask how many people love their job, but what's so important is that you have to wake up every day excited. And it's the job of the leader of your organization to make sure that happens. Now, it's a subtle thing. It's about trust, it's about leadership, it's about responsibility. But it's also about activities and finding ways for people to interact in a social manner. I'm not saying we're going to be best friends and buddies, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is having an opportunity for us to get to know each other on a personal level. Because, I don't know about you, but I